Grant Hill, NBA champion Steve Smith, and our reporter, Allie LaForce. This is Brian Anderson.
And there's always a little bit of animosity when these teams get together, but that is why it's a great rivalry.
They just know each other so well. Very few surprises. Likely it'll come down to which team can execute best.
Down low.
PJ Tucker.
And Tucker gets it to go.
The
And I think this is where... The grind of the season really starts to add up, Smitty. How do you tough it out in the late season?
You gotta be resilient, BA. The season will do everything it can to wear you down. And it's on you not to let that happen. The physical abilities of Jimmy Butler, wow. Using his power and speed to make plays inside.
Oh, it's stolen by Tucker. Harden can't hit. And it's Miami's ball.
Backcourt violation.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not careful there. And Miami has possession. Here's Butler. He's been an important part of this offense, averaging around 22 points a game. Hero outside. Just 5 to shoot. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. Adebayo, that's good.
Continues to develop as a playmaker. It's nice to see Tyler Hero create for others.
Good on the shot.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Stolen by Melton. Embiid with it. Guarded by Adebayo.
Tobias Harris.
Great positioning on the putback.
A tremendous defensive rebounder. Harris getting it done at the offensive end that time.
Lowry outside. Pass to Hero. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Adebayo. Beat the shot clock, but it's off the mark.
That's their plan, to get him an opportunity to finish in tight. That's a miss they can live with.
The assist.
Wow, the vision of PJ Tucker made that play possible.
And here's Miami. 4-point game. And Harden, a former league MVP, 3-time scoring champ. Grant, the only thing he's missing is a title.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, it would only help cement his legacy. For years, he'd carry his team only to run out of gas in the playoffs.
First team
But
foul.
postseason success counts for a lot when it's all
Substitution
said
on the
and done.
court.
Now here's Butler. In his last outing, 16 points for him. He can't get it to go. And Philadelphia the other way now. This, their first chance to take a look at the Heat this season.
Last year, this team got the better of them in the season series, so they're looking to correct that.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over.
The loudest section gets
What's really helped Miami over the last few years, they've had some of the most accurate three-point shooters in the
Make
league.
some noise once again for your Miami Heat dancer.
Miami trailing. And Maxey over to help. Pass to Oladipo. Out left to the wing. 3 on the clock. It's stolen by Maxey. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup.
Assisted. Tyrese
And an important
Maxey.
part of every team's game. A look at the hustle stats for Philadelphia.
For me, they're turning defense into offense, creating opportunities by taking the ball away. Great effort.
And also their pressure defense is paying dividends tonight, turning them over and getting out in the open floor and running.
And the Heat's ability to stretch the floor, it's critical to their stars' success, Smitty.
It is. Guys like Butler and Bam Adebayo, they thrive when they have room to operate, B.A. It's an
That's
approach
a
that continues
three-second
to
violation.
serve Miami well.
76ers ball.
Now Philadelphia with it. They're on a 10-2 run here. Pass to Milton. Here's Niang. McDaniels from long range. Adebayo grabs the board. Here's Vincent.
Philadelphia foul.
And Shake Milton gets the whistle that time.
Milton.
That's his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
And here's Oladipo. Five to shoot. Pass to Robinson. He shoots it.
24-second
And there's the
violation.
shot clock violation. Couldn't get the
76ers
shot
ball.
off in time.
Substitution on the court.
There's 18 seconds left in the first. Here's House. For three, Maxey. Second shot opportunity. And the ball is tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
Jump ball. Salto.
So it's Philadelphia now. He got it up. And so it's the Philadelphia
At the end of the first quarter with the
76ers
score,
leading by
your
6.
Miami Heat. 6. The 76ers. 12.
Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway
Your
through the
Heat
first half of this one.
team.
All right, guys, what's your take on the Sixers so far?
Answers, everybody.
Defensively, their gambles are paying off, jumping passing lanes and pressuring ball handlers.
And you can't cause those mistakes unless you're willing to gamble. So far, they've rolled the dice, and it's paid off.
Pass to Strus. Martin with the ball. Clock at 6. It's stolen. And now the Sixers on the break. Ahead. And Harden with the slam.
You can't discount Embiid's value as a passer. That vision and court awareness. These are traits a team loves to have in a big man.
Now here's Butler. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
Second personal foul.
James Harden picks one
First
up.
team foul.
That one's off.
Now at the line,
Over the course of his career, Jimmy Butler's made strides in a lot of areas. He's really matured as a playmaker in the past several seasons.
Joel Embiid.
Count it.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense.
To the wing on the left. Hero outside. Shot clock at 5. And there's a whistle. That goes on DeAnthony Melton.
DeAnthony Melton.
That's his first foul.
First personal foul.
Well, Smitty, we've seen an uptick in Butler's assists since he moved on from the 76ers.
Yeah, we're not going to start calling him Jimmy Dimes. We know passing has played a big part of his game. He trusts his teammate. He doesn't feel the need to always take over. But Jimmy is definitely a scorer.
And that one's good.
That's just smart work from Lowry. Didn't panic there.
PJ Tucker.
And Tucker gets it to go.
DeAnthony
Talk
Melton.
about imposing your will. That's 10 straight points in the paint.
And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession.
It'll be
We'll have a jump ball.
Salto.
So it's Philadelphia now. Embiid inside. Three-pointer, Harden. And he gets it to go. 4 for 6 so far.
And they've really been more consistent from the field this quarter.
So it's Miami now. Down by 12. Next up, the Knicks in New York.
It's a shot you would think he would make, but he just doesn't make it all the time.
Now here's Butler. Count it. 2 for 4 from the field now. Well, Smitty, great teams have a plan B when the plan A fails.
Well, BA, a part of it is coaching, but it's also about
Joel
having the
Embiid.
talent to win more than one way. Also, it's about ad-libbing and being able to change on the fly.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, guys, Jimmy Butler's focus is all on team success.
Joel
In fact, his
Embiid.
agent said whenever he calls Jimmy to
Assist
congratulate
from
him on personal accolades,
James
like
Harden.
All-NBA team, for example, Jimmy hangs up in his face before he can finish the sentence. Ryan, for Butler, there's only one prize that really matters.
Yeah, he's a rare breed, Allie, for sure. Thanks for that. Pass to Hero. 6 to shoot. And it's blocked by Embiid.
A menace on the defensive end. Embiid's reach disrupts your
DeAnthony
offense.
Melton.
That's 3 buckets in a row off assists.
Miami calls timeout.
Time called here. The Heat decide to talk it over. Well, whenever you bring up the 76ers, you instantly think of Joel Embiid.
Oh, no question. He's the face of this franchise. Embiid is as good as anyone in the league. Off the floor, Joel is willing to take the blame when things don't go right. That's who you want as a leader.
Once again, fans, your debut dancers.
Here's Butler. He's got 5. 1:35 left in the first half of this game. And here's Oladipo. Smitty, it can be pretty impressive to watch this Miami squad go to work on the offensive end.
Yes, BA, the reason why they have a bunch of talented shooters, that's for certain. But they also pay attention to the little things, like grabbing offensive boards and moving the ball around.
Getting themselves to the line this quarter is a good way to get their offense rolling.
Inside. Butler. Rebound by the 76ers. They're coming off a loss against Miami.
Yeah, I think they'd like to forget that game. You usually want to find some teaching moments, but in this case, it might be best to just destroy the tape.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we overanalyze things. Can be better to just let it go.
When you're casual with the ball, it can come back to bite you.
Yeah, B.A., playing loose can help you and hurt you. They really need to tighten it up.
76ers foul.
Well,
Shake
the great
Milton.
ones make their mark in the
Second
playoffs,
personal
and Jimmy
foul.
Butler has certainly
Team
done
foul,
that. Some
number
Herculean
4.
performances when the chips were down.
Now,
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
On the wing, Harden. Outside Milton. Three-pointer. Adebayo grabs the board. Miami with the ball. A 12-point game. Oladipo, shot's good.
So resourceful. When Oladipo's looking for any opening, he puts in a lot of effort on offense.
James Harden.
They have no
Assist
answer
goes to
defensively inside.
D'Anthony Melton.
There's 21 seconds left in the first half of this one. Oladipo with the ball. 5 points in the game. Butler on the wing. The clock runs out, and we are headed to
With a
halftime.
score,
The Sixers on top.
Miami Heat, 17. The 76ers, 29.
How did that happen? How did that not count? I was definitely in the air.
Time to turn up the
No, it's only 6.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And Miami has possession. Down by 12. Lowry into the lane. And he gets it to go. Lowry's got 6.
And the attacking mentality of Kyle Lowry, tearing his way to the rim with ease.
Hero with it. Picked up by Embiid. Pass to Lowry. No good there. That would have cut it to single digits. Fast break, Philadelphia. Harden can't hit. Outside Butler. Rebound by the 76ers. Harris outside. To the middle. Here's Embiid. And the shot is good. Harris making the play. Give him 8.
Their offense is really humming right now, and it's because of the beautiful ball distribution.
Lowry, no good.
1 for 4 in the second half. Just trying to get into a rhythm.
Pass to Harden. Takes a 3. No luck on that one. And Miami will go the other way with it. Here's Hero. And he gets out.
And right there, I like how Adebayo takes his time, scans the floor, makes the unselfish play.
Miami foul.
You know, in the past several seasons, there's been one constant with the 76ers.
Personal
They're
foul.
going to be among the best defensive teams in the league.
Embiid.
Substitution on the court.
And a miss there off the inbound. And Miami has possession. They've only allowed 2 points so far in the second half. Now Hero. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. The Sixers' identity really does center around their defense.
It's so true, B.A., and they've done a great job playing to their strengths. That's the key for any contending team. Maximize your players' talents. Philly has done that as well as anybody.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Brian, Sixers head coach Doc Rivers earned the nickname Doc back in college for wearing a t-shirt with Julius Erving on it. In the NBA, he said, quote, "The first game I started was against the Sixers. I went over and said, Dr. J, how are you? And he said, Doc, how are you? I said, no, I'm Glenn. But he said, no, you're Doc. And that made me feel like $1 million. Guys.
All right, thanks, Sally. And he knocks down the first one.
A fun-loving player on and off the court, Embiid continues to get better. One of the league's top big men.
Started. Money from the stripe. He does a great job night in and night out.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over.
Let's get loud.
No team better than Miami at developing undrafted prospects.
I mean, for key roles, too. You look at last year's playoffs. Strus, Martin, Vincent, Robinson. It's allowed Miami to stay on top in a salary cap-driven league.
Lowry outside. Outside Robinson. Back to Lowry. That one is off. Embiid with the nice defensive effort.
And he's having an ugly quarter from the field. It seems really frustrating. Just great work cashing in on the fast break.
Great job of reading the floor, got to the rim, and made a play.
Now at the line.
Here's Vincent. Well, no scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Joel Embiid.
And there's the foul. It's on Joel Embiid.
First team foul.
That's his first foul.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
Here's Vincent. Checking his stats. He's scoring around 9.5 points
Joel
per game.
Embiid.
Nice job to go at the rack and force the foul.
That free throw, no good.
Now at the line, Gabe Vincent.
And no luck that time either.
Very surprised he couldn't capitalize on those shots. You don't see that often.
Maxey.
Precision pass into the post. Well-earned assist.
Here's Vincent. And it's blocked by Embiid.
Miami foul. Gabe Vincent. First personal foul.
And he can't get the first
Team
one.
foul number 4.
Every coach would appreciate having Montrezl Harrell on their roster. Plays unselfish, does the dirty work, and gives his team an edge.
Strus with the bucket.
It's nice to see they're not settling for three-pointers. These guys are putting in the work inside.
Smitty, he's a tremendous underdog story. Max Strus started his college career in Division II.
And then NBA Max ended up transferring to a D1 after 2 years, scoring over 1,000 points at 2 different schools. Max is the rare player to start D2 and end up in the NBA.
Nice offense here. Close in. Great bet to go.
To the paint. Here's Embiid.
Joel
Count that
Embiid.
one. He's scoring at a nice clip. He's 6 of 9 tonight.
The control and focus from Embiid. Able to absorb hits from the defense and still finish.
Allowing any room to operate, he's going to be aggressive.
Harrell. Assisted
Oh,
by
nice one-handed jam
Shake
there, BA.
Milton.
A little exclamation point. Oladipo up top. 7 points in the game. They've done a great job of moving the ball tonight.
Yeah, BA, keeping everybody involved keeps everyone engaged.
Heat ball.
And they've been pretty meticulous
Substitution on the
offensively.
court.
That's only their second turnover of the game.
Both teams will make substitutions. Second chance effort. Love. Count the basket. Love's got his second basket on the night.
Did a nice job on the glass. Kevin Love carving out space. He's one of the best offensive rebounders we have.
Here's Oladipo. And it's blocked by Embiid. And he gets it back. Here's Strus. off on that one.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Joel
With the
Embiid,
score,
he's feeling it tonight
Miami
and has
Heat,
been the driving
29.
force for the
The
76ers.
76ers.
Between the scoring and rebounding, an excellent period. And more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way right after this. And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Now Philadelphia with it. 17 points was their biggest margin. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at Dallas. They'll match up against the Mavericks.
This is where Tobias has really improved, keeping his eyes up, making plays for others.
And here's Lowry from the arc. Now here's Harden. Pass to Maxey. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Harden. Off the mark there with a 3.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Tyler Hero hammering it down, playing with a lot of confidence.
Now Philadelphia with it. They lead by 14. Back to Harden. Pass to House. Now here's Maxey. Here's House. For 3. Adebayo grabs the board. Hero for 3. And no good.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Harris.
Tobias Harris.
Nice persistence to tip it back in.
Timeout. called
Real
for the Heat.
smooth, guys. Great job with the
Who
tip-in.
wants a
Those are the kind of
t-shirt?
plays on the offensive glass that can tell you a lot about a
Fans,
player.
please give a big round of applause
Time called here.
for your
Miami
Heat
decides to
Youth
talk it
Dance
over.
team.
Coach definitely wants to talk about their interior defense, which has not been impressive.
It's a matter of want to. Helping out, contesting shots. You have to want to make the effort.
The 76ers making a switch here.
Dancers, everyone. Show them some support.
First minute and a half of basketball played here in the 4th.
Philadelphia
And the call will
foul.
be against James Harden.
James Harden.
That's his 4th foul of the contest.
This could be a
First team
problem.
foul.
That's his 4th foul with plenty of basketball left to play.
Oh, Harris with the block.
Great position on that play from Tobias, challenging the shot and getting a piece of it.
Pass to Harden. Beyond the arc. And it's Miami with a rebound.
Not himself from range right now, but the only way out of this funk is to keep trying.
And here's Lowry. The shot misses. Good D by Harold.
What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
They're searching for a way to score.
Philadelphia foul.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to
TJ
come by.
First
Well,
personal
since
foul.
Commissioner Silver took over,
Second team
granted,
foul.
seems the league's dress code is now leaving more, let's say, wiggle room. You good with that?
Philadelphia
Yeah, a
foul.
lot of wiggle room,
James
at
Harden.
least compared to when I played, when it was
personal foul.
more of a business
Third
casual
team
environment. But I think it's great. Let the players be themselves. Let them be authentic. And I think in a weird kind of way, it endears these players to the fans at home watching on TV.
Like a bunch of runway models before and after every game.
No question, no question.
No good on the triple.
The defense got lucky there. That's one you expect him to drain.
Second personal foul. Team foul number
So it's
2.
Miami now. It's a 16-point game. Back to Lowry. 4-3. And again, the Heat missing.
You know, we talk a lot about scoring efficiency. He's displaying the exact opposite.
Harden from outside. And Hero grabs the board. The reverse. And the layup is good by Lowry.
What a move by Lowry. He can create
From
shots with
Tyler
his
Hero.
hands.
Harden fires away from outside. From downtown. Sends it home from three-point
3
land.
points.
Gotta love how they've just maintained their intensity, even when they're this far up.
They don't want to leave no chance for a comeback. Just focus on playing the right way.
Pass to Adebayo. Good D by Harrell.
Hard to convert against that kind of defensive pressure.
The rim protection at its finest. The result is the same whether you block the shot or simply change it.
Harden from outside.
James Harden.
Another three for Philadelphia.
And you can see how scary this team can be when everything is clicking for them. Just a terrific performance for the 76ers.
And the disparity in the talent was obvious by the end. Sometimes you just don't have enough ammunition to compete.
Yeah, B.A., just a total beatdown. And the next time these teams meet, I can't imagine it'll be any different.
And their efforts tonight pushed them to 41 wins on the year so far.
And against a familiar opponent, it's nice to establish a psychological advantage with a win in the first game.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Joel Embiid.
His range and timing protecting the rim, he blocked a lot of shots and altered even more.
Hero, no good.
Well, it's a make-or-miss league. Sometimes the Jays just don't fall. It wasn't a bad shot.
About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Harden with it. Picked up by Lowry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Late clock, the Sixers need to put one up here. And it's Harden again missing. Hero from way outside. Misses there. So no problem for Philadelphia as they get the win. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
And that'll wrap it up, folks.
caddy coops. I was broke, threw me an alley-oop. Then from Houston and drove it through Baton Rouge. You ain't never seen a pile of bands stop. I'm in the spot, racks on garbage can shots with more. Cause who get old school, my morals come from the past. As long as I'm rich, I make the pump the gas. Call for it when I thought you least well one that I know you broke. I'm not none of them. You want a gas? Nah. And that 01 drought had them pulling out old.
Joined by Hall of Famer Grant Hill. NBA champion Steve Smith, and our reporter, Allie LaForce. This is Brian Anderson.
And it seemed that not a lot went right for them. Plenty of standing around on the offensive end, and their D couldn't make up for it.
This was a brutal loss. We can point fingers in a number of directions, but the bottom line is they just didn't have it tonight.
Now here's Morant. Pass to Jackson. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first move. And we're at the point of the season where we really start seeing teams dial in for the playoff push, Grant.
Oh, such an exciting time, BA. And for some teams, the playoffs start now. We've got bubble teams in both conferences battling for positioning, and every game has playoff implications.
Buries it down low.
Okay, check out the handles of Ja Morant. Wow, what a crafty player.
And we're about a minute into the first. Here's Lowry. Outside for Butler. Pass to Hero. The offensive rebound. Adebayo. Oh, persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
This is what they count on Bam for, ensuring the play gets finished.
And with the Memphis Grizzlies, Smitty, they felt like an underdog for as long as they've been around.
This seems to fuel each and every guy that plays here. BA, they want to prove the doubters wrong. It's something that has really brought this group together.
First team foul.
Almost 2 minutes into the first here. Here's Butler. In his last outing, 16 points for him. Shot clock at 5. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
First personal foul.
It's going to be on Dylan
Second
Brooks.
team foul.
The toughness and passion that Butler plays with is admirable. A natural leader on and off the floor.
Well, the great ones make their mark in the playoffs, and Jimmy Butler has certainly done that. Some Herculean performances when the chips were down.
And it's Morant missing. Pass to Butler. Double team on Butler. Now Adebayo. Back to Butler. And out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it. Well, if you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Morant with the bucket. Morant's gotten his second bucket on the night. And granted, last year's playoffs, Jimmy Butler became the first player since Jordan to author multiple 40-point, 4-steal games in a single series.
And in 2020, the third player ever to record a 40-point triple-double in the finals. I mean, just legendary stuff.
Here's Butler. 2 seconds left. The shot off that time. Good work defensively by Brooks. And that one is stuffed right through.
I like that find by Jackson. Young bigs who can see the whole floor. You don't come across them that often.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over.
The son of an NBA player, Jaren Jackson Jr. I actually played a bit with his dad, Jaren Sr. in Orlando back in the early 2000s, which means I'm old.
Both teams deciding to change it up. A minute 58 left to play in the first quarter. And the Jacksons, just the latest father-son NBA duo. Lots of great ones there, Grant.
So true, B.A. The Curry family might be the best ever. The Berries, including our own colleague Brent. The Thompsons with Clay in the league currently. Just some incredible NBA families to admire.
Here's Aldama. Back to Clark. Pass to Conchar. Kennard with it. 4 on the clock. No good from outside. Miami trailing. Here's Vincent. And he banks in the layup.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Kennard can't get it to go. Vincent can't hit.
Out of character for him to miss that shot. Maybe just a little too casual there.
Jones misses. And here are the Heat. Trailing by 2. They're getting their first look of the season at the Grizzlies in this one.
And last year's games were interesting to watch, considering that each team came out with a win against the other.
This is going to be a fun first game between these two squads. Buckle up.
Now here's Oladipo. Now quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Pass to Jones. Back to Kennard. Here's Jones. No good on the buzzer beater. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Grizzlies out in front. They're up by 2. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
Please give a big round of applause for your
Some good action, folks, as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And looking at what we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you think, guys?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious they were well prepared defensively coming in.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, guys, Jimmy Butler's focus is all on team success. In fact, his agent said whenever he calls Jimmy to congratulate him on personal accolades, like All-NBA team, for example, Jimmy hangs up in his face before he can finish the sentence. Brian, for Butler, there's only one prize that really matters.
Yeah, he's a rare breed, Allie, for sure. Thanks for that. That one is off. And it's Miami the other way. They're coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
You know, sometimes you just don't match up with a team, no matter what you do. And it starts to feel like quicksand.
You know, they were reacting rather than dictating. I thought they played scared all night. Over the course of his career, Jimmy Butler's made strides in a lot of areas. He's really matured as a playmaker in the past several seasons.
Now here's Lowry. Well, he hasn't scored yet, but I'm sure that'll change. Shoots over Morant. Oh, and Jackson with the block.
In just one college year, Jaren Jackson averaged 3 blocks a game. He has that potential at this level.
Well, Smitty, we've seen an uptick in Butler's assists since he moved on from the 76ers.
Yeah, we're not going to start calling him Jimmy Dimes. We know passing has played a big part of his game. He trusts his teammate. He doesn't feel the need to always take over. But Jimmy is definitely a scorer.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
Jackson can't get it to go. Here's Lowry. Chance there to take the lead, but a miss. Inside. And down it goes. Dumped it through off a beautiful setup.
Shows incredible vision for a younger player. Ja Morant's a skilled distributor.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over.
Some will remember that Desmond Bane was the last pick in the first round in the 2020 draft, which is something he has used as motivation over the years.
Substitution on the court.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. You know, it's clear now that teams are kicking themselves for not picking Bane earlier in the draft, Smitty.
B.A., the reason why he's proven that he can be a huge part of the rotation. A lights-out three-point shooter and rugged defender. A player any team would love to have.
Now here's Morant. He's given them steady production at over 27 points a game. Uses the glass on the layup. And now it's a 4-point Memphis lead.
Challenging the heart of the defense. Ja Morant can beat you with the pass or the shot.
Outside Strus. 6 to shoot. And there's the call on Dylan Brooks. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second personal foul.
His second foul in as many quarters. We'll see if he backs off or stays aggressive.
Now here's Hero. Boy, he's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Nice defense by Dylan Brooks, using his power on that play.
It's tipped. Butler with a steal. And the call will be against Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. 13 foul.
And there's a minute 45 left in the second quarter.
What's really helped Miami over the last few years, they've had some of the most accurate three-point shooters in the league.
And it appears that he has totally lost his touch here in the second quarter.
And it's Morant off the drive. Back to Williams. And a great assist by Morant as that one goes. Williams has gotten his first points in this one. And the Heat's ability to stretch the floor, it's critical to their stars' success, Smitty.
It is. Guys like Butler and Bam Adebayo, they thrive when they have room to operate, B.A. It's an approach that continues to serve Miami well.
Back to Brooks. Outside Morant. Let's go with a 3. Buries it from 3. Morant's got 9 points.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Memphis foul. Ja Morant.
Smitty, he's a tremendous underdog story. Max Strus started his college career in Division II.
And then B.A. Max ended up transferring to a D1 after 2 years, scoring over 1,000 points at 2 different schools. Max is the rare player to start D2 and end up in the NBA.
Great opportunity. Just couldn't complete the play.
Yes, getting a little ahead of himself on that play.
If you can, use up the clock en route to the last shot.
But you know, this is where your patience is tested. If you shoot too quickly, you give your opponent a chance to close out the quarter.
Jones from outside. Oh, he released it in time, but it's off the mark. And we've reached halftime in this one.
19.
It's the Grizzlies up 9. We'll get right back to the action when we...
All right, then.
Well, for those just tuning in, thanks for being with us. Second half of this game still to play. Miami trailing. And it's Lowry penetrating. He can't get that one to fall. Morant with a defensive effort. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, Miami is very efficient. Coach Spoelstra said, quote, "You want to maximize your offense in all the different ways in your menu without feeling like you're taking turns." I don't think anyone would say that about our team. They're an unselfish group that likes sharing the ball, and they enjoy each other's success. Brian?
Allie, thank you. Here's Butler. Good work defensively by Brooks. And here's Memphis. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 9. Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one. Morant's got 12 points.
Elite ball handler who can hit from every spot on the floor. Morant lighting him up tonight. If you look back to the Grizzlies' whole season last year, there's one thing to remember. For most of their core guys, that was only their second trip to the playoffs.
So he makes one of two, and the second one misses. Well, for that very young Grizzlies team, I'm thinking that playoff experience last year was invaluable, Smitty.
B.A., no question. For every playoff game a young player gets under his belt, the more prepared he is for the next playoff run.
Here's Lowry. Butler on the wing. That's good. And so Lowry with the assist. 10 points for him.
Jimmy knows he's the leader of his team, and shots like this demonstrate his confident mindset.
Durant with the bucket.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
1 for 4 in the second half. Just trying to get into a rhythm.
Count it. And now it's a 12-point Grizzly lead.
And I love how he's pushing the tempo and creating for others. He does this game in and game out. Incredible.
You know what it is? It's his creativity. That's making this engine run.
Timeout called, the Heat. And the players take this opportunity to get some Gatorade. Getting some fluids in you is so important during these timeouts. Get fresh, keep those batteries charged.
Yeah, without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a ball game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have to be hydrated.
Very cold start to the second half. 1 for 5, looking for some continuity.
Outside Bane. Offline with a 3. And here are the Heat now. A 12-point game. Now here's Lowry. And he makes it on the layup. Lowry's got his first 2 points of the night. You know, for most players, being a starter has value. But Grant, some elite teams have been elevated by great players who have accepted a reserve role.
And it's really special, B.A., when you have that. Players who are willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. Putting winning first at all costs. When you think about it through the years, Manu Ginobili with the Spurs, Andre Iguodala in Golden State, it really can galvanize a team and lead to winning championships.
Known for being a strong defender, Butler takes pride in blocking shots.
Kept alive. Here's Love. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Hustle points count just like any others. That's a great play.
Timeout called. Memphis. And Grant, no team better than Miami at developing undrafted prospects.
I mean, for key roles, too. You look at last year's playoffs. Strus, Martin, Vincent, Robinson. It's allowed Miami to stay on top in a salary cap-driven league.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have passed. From deep, Baines knocks down the long J. Baines got 5 now.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
Hero with the bucket.
We see it almost nightly. Hero is underrated in terms of his ability to score inside.
Pass to Williams. Back to Jackson. Over to the wing. Here's Morant. And it's good. Off the back rim and in. Morant's got 7 points for the quarter.
He means business. Unlikely to be a comeback on his watch.
The reason why momentum can flip so quickly. We see it time and time again. Teams giving up big leads.
All right, well, a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Grizzlies.
I just love how they're taking advantage of their chances to run, and they're pushing it. Fast break points can win you ball games.
Well, another area they've been productive is off of turnovers, scoring many times after forcing the ball out of their opponent's hands.
Jones from outside. Miami grabs the miss. And after this game wraps up, they're off to New York to take on the Knicks.
Something's off about him this quarter.
And it also shows you how difficult this game is. He's just a little bit off, but it can result in missing everything.
Here's Lowry. Puts it up from 12. Adebayo. That one goes. Count it. Adebayo's got his second basket of the game.
Bam is a pro at absorbing contact, especially when he's locked in on scoring.
His arrow's been trending up as of late, and he's been magnificent tonight.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. Grizzlies out in front, up 9. And fourth quarter basketball will be... The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Jones with the ball. Kennard outside. Fires the three. Hits the three-pointer. And the Grizzlies lead by 12.
We've seen Kennard steadily increase his three-point shots. Terrific accuracy here.
Here's Adebayo. Another shot. Altama grabs the board. Here's the Grizzlies with the ball. 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Now Kennard. Outside Jones. Back to Kennard. Clock at 6. The steal. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute played. To the inside. Kennard on the wing. Pass to Jones. To the middle. Brooks outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's the three. And again, it's Memphis with a three.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Oladipo, shot's good.
So resourceful. When Oladipo's looking for any opening, he puts in a lot of effort on offense.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Smitty, it can be pretty impressive to watch this Miami squad go to work on the offensive end.
Yes, B.A., the reason why they have a bunch of talented shooters, that's for certain. But they also pay attention to the little things, like grabbing offensive boards and moving the ball around.
Making a change here. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, I had a chance to find out what Taylor Jenkins was discussing with his players. He told them it's going to come down to our defense. If we buckle down and get stops, they've got no way back. With the win in sight, he doesn't want them to relax. Guys, back over to you.
All right, Allie, thanks once again. from deep three-point range. And it's Brooks missing.
We've seen him make that shot, but not all that often.
It's the kind of shot that gives hero ball a bad name and causes your coach to consider another line of work.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Jackson. Outside Jones. Kicks it out to Jackson. Ooh, and an air ball on that one. Way off. Here's Hero. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits.
Just a total mismatch speed-wise. Love that he recognized it.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
And here's Jones. .151 left in the fourth. Brooks left side. Over Butler. And another miss by Memphis. It's Hero on the take. Unable to get that one. Great D that time from Maine. Here's Jones. Memphis needs to get off a shot. From deep. And Hero grabs the board.
I know that he has the ability and confidence to sink that shot. But better luck next time, maybe.
You know what another option is? Just give the ball up. Let someone else make a play.
And the basket by Maine.
And there's no way this margin gets closed down. Great execution of a game plan and a nice win here for the Grizzlies.
Check out their assist numbers.
They didn't get stuck in isolation. They got the ball to the guys who had the best matchups.
And it was a team effort tonight, collecting their 39th victory of the year.
Always good to start a season series off with a W. They showed tonight they take this team seriously, and the next 2 matchups between these two should be fun.
And what a huge performance it was for Ja Morant.
I thought he did a good job of filling out the defense early on. Then once he found his groove, he stayed aggressive throughout.
Good, and the assist goes to Adebayo.
A fantastic passer for a big. Bam, terrific at finding his open teammates.
Now here's Jones. From deep three-point range. No good. And so the Grizzlies take the win. Even early on in this game, they appeared happy to be playing at home.
And it makes a huge difference. Once they started to get into a groove, you never really felt like they wouldn't come out on top.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Steve Smith.
Lowest price. Okay. Remember now, okay, if a cheap handgun is like $300. Now imagine a military automatic with like beams and crazy shit. No, they got millions of weapons, not 500. So military